Pascal Siakam now we're hearing two different things. Pascal Siakam is excited about the deal to the Pacers and is expected to be eager to work out a new contract with the franchise this summer. Sources tell ESPN Siakam can be a free agent in July. Well, things change once you really don't have a say, right? And we see this power play with different athletes all the time. And, hey, we want you to be here. We think we're building something special. This is a really exciting guy. You can still be a version of a number one because Haliburton is so pass-focused as well. So now I'll let you go, Frankie.
No, I mean, a lot of emotions, obviously. First and foremost, yes, the trade finally dropped, and we know that, hey, that's what it takes to get someone like Pascal Siakam, whether it's for 40 games, even more for the future. And as you just saw, which I think you kind of had that idea when the trade was made, if 3 firsts is what it's going to take, even if they're not all their first, that's a lot of draft compensation to give back. You must feel confident, and there must be some communication with Siakam's agency that he's open to staying in Indiana. We now are seeing that's true. But I'm looking at it this way as far as I think that's another aspect of why Siakam wanted to be in a place like Indiana versus Sacramento or another situation. He gets to be a clear number 2 now. Mm-hmm. He's a clear number 2 to Haliburton. Even maybe a 1 as far as how Tyrese sets up his teammates. He might be the leading scorer on that team.
We've seen him be passive before.
For sure. Like, I think Tyrese being more of an assist guy, which he already is one of the best passers in the NBA, but now you have a guy in Siakam who can go out there and get you 20 plus. I mean, that's going to be really good for Indiana. And again, it's something that kind of shows that Siakam, at his point in his career, he's going to be 30 next season. He wants to be more of a guy in here in Sacramento. He would definitely be more of a 3, maybe 2-3 option and not a clear 1. Whereas in Indiana, he's up there with Tyrese. They can both be the leaders of that team and have a really good 2-man game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of brought up there. My initial reaction is this is a lot like the Kings making a move for Sabonis, where it's like, it's a lot to give up. But if you feel like as an organization, like you have an all-star caliber player and you want to get another one, those, as we've seen, those aren't easy to acquire. You got to give some things up. Do you kind of see it in the same way that this is Indiana almost looking and saying this kind of legitimizes us a little bit more and turns us into a team that's fun and scrappy into a team that, you know, you actually probably have to take at least a little bit seriously, right?
Yeah. No, they needed like a guy, right? I mean, they needed like that other piece. I mean, it kind of the same argument with the Kings when they made the Sabonis trade and kind of where we are back right now as far as the Kings need another like go-getter, like another scorer, a bucket getter. They really didn't have that. I mean, Bruce Brown was, I think, a great get for them in the offseason. He's not really that kind of guy to go get you 20 plus points a game. He's not someone that opposing teams need to like worry about and game plan for it. And that's not a knock on Bruce Brown. Just he's not someone like Pascal Siakam who can be a nightmare in a variety of different ways. He can knock down the 3 ball when he's on. He has a 7-foot wingspan. He can be a lockdown defender when he's engaged. Just a guy that Indiana really, like you said, Chris, they needed a guy to kind of take him to that next step and have people take him seriously. Well, if you want someone to do that, Pascal Siakam is a great guy for it. And probably the biggest name on the trade market now comes off the board. So you have to wonder, how does that change teams' approaches on other big names that are going to be floated up there, like Zach LaVine's and down the line, Jeremy Grant, which we've seen today that there's reports that he probably won't be moved, but you never know. I mean, you never know. But right now we see what it takes to get a star talent, and it's a big haul for the Toronto Raptors.
Real quick too, you know what's crazy is Indiana's still got another move too. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not still in on Zach LaVine. Like they still have Myles Turner and Buddy Hield, which, you know, those guys are pretty much out the door. I mean, especially Buddy.
Myles Turner, huh?
They've been trying to move Myles Turner forever.
It kind of cooled off, though, I feel
Definitely,
like.
yeah. And maybe they like the fit with Pascal. Mm-hmm. Maybe they feel like that's a little bit more of a fit. But I would also say that if you didn't like the fit of Sabonis and Turner, how much did we hear in this Siakam, sweepstakes that, well, Siakam and Sabonis are a little redundant. So if they do a lot of the same things, I could see you running into the same problem still in Indiana. But I still think Indiana might have another move to make is where I'm going.
Another big name, and this is per Woj as well, the Jazz seem determined to continue building a roster around Lauri Markkanen long term. So that's another name. Is it actually off the board? Who knows? Right. But they want it to sound like it's off the board, which might be part of the marketing.
5 first, right? That's the asking price. I think it's starting at 5 first-round picks.
In this economy?
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know about that. But I definitely think that we'll see more movement this trade season. And obviously, that's the big one that has to come off. Yeah. Definitely Pascal Siakam.
Dude, that second first-round pick, too, I was trying to figure out, because you said Indiana sent 2 2024 first-round picks.
Yes.
I was trying to look at what that second one that they own. So they own their own 2024 pick. The other one is OKC, Houston, Clippers, or Utah. And I could break down the explanations, but it's way too long. So
It's a lot. It's a lot. How many first-round picks does OKC still have?
I'll look it up for you.
That's the team that people are talking about as far as Lauri Markkanen. If a trade was going to happen, the team that has the treasure chest to open up would be Oklahoma City, and that'd be the last thing I think a lot of Kings fans would want to see is Oklahoma or teams in the West. They want to see Lauri Markkanen joining the Oklahoma City Thunder without them having to give up too much.
I'm looking at it right now. Just this year, 2024, these are just first-round picks here. OKC has the Clippers with no protection. They have Houston 1 through 4 protected. Utah 1 through 10 protected. They don't have their own this year. In 2025, they have their own. They also have 4 first-round draft picks in 2025. But they have their own Houston or LA, Philly, Miami.
They have 3 this year, though.
They have 3 this year, 4 next year.
I feel like they're going to do something.
They're probably going to do something.
Entire rotation.
I don't. We got to get to a break. It's a question of what do they need. They don't have that true center, right? So is it that? Is it a shooting guard? OKC is interesting because they have so many similar players. What exactly do they feel that they're missing? Got to get to a break. When we get back, we have an appearance, not live, but an appearance from Carmichael Dave, who had some things to say, and we react to the Pascal Siakam trade. Styles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.